Welcome, dear soul. If you found your way to this moment, to these words, it's no accident. You're here because something deep within you knows that change is possible, even when conscious effort feels exhausting, even when you've tried so many things that haven't seemed to work. I'm Dr. Bruce Lipton, and I want to share with you tonight something that took me decades to fully understand. Your subconscious mind never sleeps. While your conscious mind rests, while your body regenerates, your subconscious remains exquisitely aware, processing, learning, and most importantly, reprogramming itself based on what it receives. For over 40 years, I've studied the intricate dance between consciousness and biology, between belief and cellular expression. What I've discovered will transform how you think about sleep forever. Your brain doesn't simply shut down at night. It enters one of its most receptive states, a state where the critical mind steps aside and allows new information to flow directly into your neural networks. Think of your conscious mind as a vigilant gatekeeper during waking hours, constantly analyzing, judging, and filtering information based on past experiences and learned limitations. But when you sleep, this gatekeeper relaxes its guard. The brain shifts into theta and delta frequencies, the same brainwave states accessed during deep meditation and hypnosis. In these states, your subconscious mind becomes like fertile soil, ready to receive and nurture new seeds of possibility. The implications of this are profound. Every night you have the opportunity to literally rewire your neural pathways, to install new programs that can transform your health, your relationships, your abundance, and your entire experience of life. But here's what most people don't understand. The subconscious mind learns through repetition and emotion, not through logic or force. When you were a child, your brain operated primarily in theta frequency until around age 7. During this time, you were essentially in a hypnotic state, absorbing everything around you without the filter of critical analysis. This is how you learned language so effortlessly, how you absorbed your family's beliefs about money, love, success, and self-worth. These early programs became the foundation of your unconscious operating system. But here's the beautiful truth I want you to understand. What was programmed can be reprogrammed. The same neuroplasticity that allowed your brain to form those early patterns is still active today. Your brain continues to change and adapt throughout your entire life, creating new neural connections and pathways based on repeated experiences and focused attention. The 8 phrases I'll share with you tonight are not mere positive affirmations. They are carefully crafted statements designed to communicate directly with your subconscious mind in the language it understands best. The language of present tense reality, emotional resonance, and repetitive imprinting. Each phrase carries within it a specific vibrational frequency, a particular quality of consciousness that, when repeatedly impressed upon your subconscious mind during sleep, begins to reshape your fundamental beliefs about yourself and your reality. These aren't empty words or wishful thinking. They are tools for biological transformation. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. When you repeatedly expose it to these transformative phrases during the receptive state of sleep, you're essentially creating new memories, new reference points that your biology will begin to express as your lived reality. Tonight, as you allow these words to flow through your consciousness, remember that you're not just listening, you're participating in the ancient art of conscious creation. You're using the same principles that have guided mystics and healers throughout history, now validated by modern neuroscience and quantum physics. The 8 phrases you'll encounter are gateways to 8 fundamental aspects of human flourishing: safety, healing, abundance, love, trust, authenticity, peace, and unity. Each phrase is designed to address core limiting beliefs that may have been unconsciously running your life, creating patterns of struggle, fear, or separation. As we journey together through this sacred process of reprogramming, I invite you to approach it not with desperate hope or anxious effort, but with gentle curiosity and patient trust. Your subconscious mind is infinitely wise and incredibly precise. It will integrate these new patterns at exactly the right pace for your system. Some of you may notice subtle shifts immediately, perhaps a deeper sense of calm, a spontaneous solution to a persistent problem, or an unexpected opportunity appearing in your life. Others may experience a gradual unwinding of old patterns over weeks or months, like a flower slowly opening to the sun. Trust the process. Trust your innate capacity for transformation. Trust that your consciousness is far more powerful than you've been taught to believe. Tonight, as you prepare to plant these 8 seeds of transformation in the fertile garden of your subconscious mind, know that you are participating in your own rebirth. The old programs that have limited you were learned, and they can be unlearned. The new reality you desire is not only possible, it's already available in the quantum field of infinite potential, waiting for you to claim it through the power of conscious choice and repetitive impression. Let us begin this sacred work together, knowing that every word, every phrase, every moment of receptive listening is rewiring your brain for a more beautiful expression of who you truly are. As you settle more deeply into this moment, feeling your body beginning to naturally relax, your brain is already starting to shift its electrical activity. The rapid beta waves of your busy daytime mind are gradually slowing down, creating space for something far more profound to emerge. What you're entering now is what I call the gateway state, that magical threshold between waking consciousness and sleep, where true transformation becomes possible. This isn't just poetic language, it's measurable science. Right now, your brain is moving toward theta frequency, oscillating between 4 and 8 cycles per second. In this theta state, something extraordinary happens. The analytical mind that constantly questions, doubts, and filters information based on past experience begins to quiet. The critical factor that normally protects your existing beliefs starts to dissolve. Your subconscious mind, that vast repository of memory, emotion, and automatic programming, becomes exquisitely receptive to new information. Think of it this way. During your normal waking hours, your conscious mind is like a busy editor, constantly revising, rejecting, and modifying information before it reaches your deeper mind. But in theta, this editor takes a break. Information can flow directly into your subconscious, bypassing the usual resistance and skepticism. This is the same brainwave state that children naturally inhabit until around age 7. It's why children learn so rapidly, why they accept new realities without question, and why they're so naturally creative and imaginative. In theta, the boundaries between imagination and reality become beautifully blurred, allowing new possibilities to take root in your consciousness. Ancient traditions have always understood this principle, even without modern technology to measure brainwaves. The practice of meditation, prayer, chanting, and ritual all serve to induce these receptive states where transformation becomes possible. Shamans, mystics, and healers throughout history have worked with theta consciousness to facilitate profound healing and awakening. But you don't need years of meditation training to access this state. Every night, as you drift toward sleep, your brain naturally cycles through these frequencies. The key is learning to work consciously with this natural process, to use these precious moments of receptivity for intentional reprogramming. When your brain is in theta, several important things occur simultaneously. First, your hippocampus, the brain's learning center, becomes highly active, forming new memories and consolidating experiences. Second, your prefrontal cortex, responsible for critical thinking and analysis, reduces its activity, allowing information to be processed more holistically and emotionally. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the connection between your conscious and subconscious minds becomes more fluid. The usual barriers that separate these aspects of your psyche dissolve, creating an opportunity for deep communication and transformation. In this state, your subconscious mind is like a fertile garden, ready to receive new seeds. But it's important to understand that your subconscious doesn't process information the way your conscious mind does. It doesn't analyze or evaluate. It simply accepts what is repeatedly impressed upon it with emotional intensity and vivid imagery. This is why the 8 phrases we'll work with tonight are crafted in present tense, as statements of current reality rather than future hopes. Your subconscious mind lives in the eternal now. When you say, "I am safe," it doesn't question whether this is true according to your current circumstances. Instead, it begins to organize your biology and behavior around this new reality. The language of the subconscious is symbolic, emotional, and experiential. It responds to repetition, rhythm, and feeling tones. It learns through pattern recognition rather than logical analysis. This is why affirmations work best when they're combined with emotional resonance and consistent repetition over time. As you continue to relax, notice how your breathing naturally deepens, how your heartbeat slows, how the tensions of the day begin to melt away from your muscles. These are all signs that your nervous system is shifting from sympathetic activation, the fight or flight state, to parasympathetic dominance, the rest and digest state where healing and growth occur. In this parasympathetic state, your body releases healing hormones, your immune system becomes more active, and your cells enter repair mode. But equally important, your brain becomes more neuroplastic, more capable of forming new neural pathways and connections. The 8 phrases you'll receive tonight are designed to work with all of these natural processes simultaneously. They'll help shift your nervous system into deeper states of safety and relaxation, while simultaneously installing new programs in your subconscious mind. Each phrase carries within it not just intellectual meaning, but energetic resonance. When you receive these words in theta state, you're not just hearing information, you're downloading new possibilities directly into your biofield, your energy system, and your cellular memory. Remember, transformation doesn't require force or struggle. It happens naturally when the conditions are right, when the soil is prepared, when the timing is perfect. Tonight, all these conditions are aligning for you. Your brain is in the perfect state for rewiring. Your heart is open to new possibilities. Your body is relaxed and receptive. Trust this process. Trust your innate wisdom. Trust that your consciousness knows exactly how to integrate these new patterns in the way that serves your highest good. You don't need to make anything happen. You simply need to receive, to allow, to let these words flow into the deepest levels of your being where they can take root and grow. The gateway is open. The garden is prepared. The seeds of transformation are ready to be planted. Let these words settle into your awareness now, like gentle rain on thirsty earth. I am safe in this moment. Feel how these words land in your body, in your heart, in the deepest places where you hold your most fundamental beliefs about life. Safety. This single word holds the key to everything else that follows in your transformation. Without a foundation of safety, your nervous system cannot relax enough to allow true healing and growth. Without safety, your subconscious mind remains in protective mode, constantly scanning for threats, ready to react from old patterns of fear and defense. You see, most of us carry within our cellular memory traces of times when we weren't safe, moments of physical danger, emotional overwhelm, or spiritual disconnection that left deep impressions in our nervous system. These memories don't just live in our minds, they live in our bodies, in the very cells that make up our being. Your cells have memory. Every experience you've ever had has been recorded not just in your brain, but in the tissues, organs, and energy field of your body. Trauma, stress, and fear create patterns of contraction, tension, and hypervigilance that can persist for years or even decades after the original threat has passed. But tonight, as these words flow through your consciousness, I am safe in this moment, something begins to shift at the cellular level. Your body starts to remember a deeper truth, an older knowing that exists beneath all the accumulated fears and protective mechanisms. The truth is that in this exact moment, as you rest here receiving these words, you are safe. Whatever storms may have raged in your past, whatever uncertainties you may face in your future, right now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this eternal present moment, you are safe. Feel this safety beginning to permeate your body. Notice how your shoulders might naturally drop as they release the burden of constant vigilance. Feel how your jaw softens as it lets go of the tension of unsaid words and suppressed emotions. Observe how your breathing naturally deepens as your nervous system recognizes that it can finally, truly relax. I am safe in this moment. Let this phrase wash through your bloodstream, carrying its message of peace to every cell in your body. Your heart muscle relaxes as it receives this message. Your digestive system, no longer needing to shut down in preparation for fight or flight, begins to function more efficiently. Your immune system, freed from the constant drain of stress hormones, can focus on healing and regeneration. This is not just positive thinking. This is biological reprogramming at the deepest level. When your subconscious mind truly accepts that you are safe, everything changes. Your posture opens, your breathing deepens, your energy flows more freely, and your capacity for joy and creativity expands exponentially. Safety is the foundation of all growth. A tree cannot reach toward the sun if it's constantly worrying about its roots being torn from the earth. A flower cannot bloom if it's perpetually braced against an imagined storm. And you cannot become who you're meant to be while your system is locked in patterns of fear and protection. But safety, true safety, doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from an inner knowing, a deep recognition that you are held by something greater than yourself. Whether you call it life, the universe, God, or simply the intelligent force that keeps your heart beating and your lungs breathing without any conscious effort on your part. As you repeat these words, I am safe in this moment, you're not trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true. You're remembering something that has always been true, but has been obscured by layers of conditioning, trauma, and fear-based programming. You are safe because you are part of the same intelligence that orchestrates the movement of galaxies and the blooming of flowers. You are safe because your very existence is proof that the universe wants you here, values your unique contribution to the grand symphony of life. I am safe in this moment. Feel how this statement creates a bubble of peace around you, a sanctuary of calm in which your deepest healing can occur. In this sanctuary, your wounded inner child can finally rest. Your anxious mind can set down its burden of endless worry. Your tired heart can open to receive the love that has always been waiting for you. This safety isn't dependent on having all your problems solved, all your bills paid, or all your relationships perfected. This safety exists in the space between thoughts, in the pause between heartbeats, in the eternal now that underlies all changing circumstances. From this place of safety, everything becomes possible. From this foundation of inner peace, you can build a life that truly reflects your deepest values and highest aspirations. From this sanctuary of the heart, you can extend love, compassion, and healing to a world that desperately needs what you have to offer. I am safe in this moment. Let these words become a mantra, a prayer, an anchor that you can return to whenever fear tries to pull you back into old patterns of contraction and defense. Let them remind you that no matter what appears to be happening in your external world, there is a place within you that remains untouched, unshakable, and eternally secure. As you drift deeper into relaxation, carrying these words into the theta depths of your subconscious mind, know that you are planting a seed that will grow into a mighty tree of inner peace, unshakable confidence, and radiant presence. You are safe. You have always been safe, and you will always be safe, held in the loving embrace of a universe that conspires for your highest good. Something miraculous is happening in your brain right now as these words flow through your consciousness. Every phrase, every sentence, every concept is creating actual physical changes in your neural networks. What you're experiencing isn't just intellectual understanding, it's biological transformation happening in real time. Let me share with you one of the most profound discoveries of modern neuroscience. Your brain doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. Every thought, every word, every mental image you hold creates the same neural pathways and chemical responses as if that experience were happening in physical reality. This is why the phrases we're working with tonight are so powerful. When your subconscious mind receives the statement, I am safe in this moment, with emotional intensity and repetitive exposure, it begins to restructure your entire nervous system around this new reality. Your brain is constantly changing, constantly rewiring itself based on your dominant thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections and pathways throughout your entire life. What this means is that you are literally sculpting your brain with every thought you think and every word you speak to yourself. Think of your neural pathways like trails in a forest. The thoughts and beliefs you've repeated most often throughout your life have created deep, well-worn paths in your brain. Some of these paths serve you beautifully. They help you remember your name, recognize loved ones, and perform complex skills automatically. But some of these neural pathways may be based on outdated programming, childhood wounds, or fear-based beliefs that no longer serve your highest good. These are the paths that lead to anxiety, self-doubt, limiting beliefs about your worthiness or capabilities, and patterns of emotional reactivity that keep you stuck in cycles of suffering. The beautiful news is that every time you consciously choose a new thought, every time you repeat a transformative phrase like the ones we're working with tonight, you're literally creating new neural pathways. At first, these new paths might feel unfamiliar, like walking through uncharted territory in that forest of your mind. But with repetition and emotional intensity, these new pathways become stronger and more established. Eventually, they can become your new default patterns, your new automatic responses to life's challenges and opportunities. This process happens most effectively when your brain is in receptive states like theta, which you're naturally entering now as you relax more deeply. In theta, your brain produces higher levels of theta waves, which are associated with enhanced neuroplasticity, increased learning, and deeper integration of new information. When you're in this state and you receive the phrase, "I am safe in this moment," something remarkable occurs in your brain. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system that constantly scans for threats, begins to calm down. Your hippocampus, responsible for memory formation, starts creating new reference points for safety and peace. Your prefrontal cortex, the newest part of your brain responsible for conscious choice and emotional regulation, strengthens its connection to these positive neural networks. Over time, this creates a new baseline of inner peace and confidence that becomes your natural state of being. But the transformation goes beyond just your brain. Your thoughts and beliefs create cascades of chemical messengers throughout your entire body. When you truly believe "I am safe," your body reduces production of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Instead, it increases production of healing hormones like oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine. These biochemical changes affect every system in your body. Your immune function improves, your digestion becomes more efficient, your sleep deepens, your energy increases, your capacity for joy and creativity expands. This is the power of belief made manifest in your physical reality. Your cells are literally listening to your thoughts. They respond to the chemical environment created by your beliefs, adjusting their function and expression accordingly. This is the field of epigenetics, the study of how environmental factors, including your thoughts and emotions, influence which genes are turned on or off in your cells. What this means is that you're not a victim of your genetics or your past programming. You have the power to influence your genetic expression through your consciousness, through the thoughts you choose to think and the beliefs you choose to cultivate. The 8 phrases you're receiving tonight are specifically designed to communicate with your cells in the language they understand best, the language of safety, love, abundance, and wholeness. Each phrase carries within it a specific vibrational frequency that resonates with the deepest aspects of your being. As these words flow through your awareness, they're not just entering your conscious mind, they're penetrating into your cellular memory, your energy field, your very DNA. They're awakening dormant potentials, activating healing mechanisms, and aligning your entire being with patterns of health, happiness, and fulfillment. This is why consistency is so important in this process. Just as it takes time to wear a new path through a forest, it takes time and repetition to establish new neural pathways and cellular patterns. But every repetition strengthens these new patterns, making them more automatic and natural. The old beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you don't disappear overnight, but they gradually weaken when they're no longer being reinforced. Like old paths in a forest that become overgrown when they're no longer used, your old limiting beliefs lose their power when you consistently choose new, empowering thoughts. Tonight, as these transformative phrases flow through your consciousness, know that you're participating in the cutting edge of human evolution, the conscious direction of your own biological and spiritual development through the power of intentional belief and repeated positive programming. You are literally becoming a new person, cell by cell, thought by thought, belief by belief. Breathe these words into every cell of your being. My body knows how to heal. Feel them settling into your bones, your blood, your tissues, awakening an ancient wisdom that has been waiting patiently within you since the moment of your conception. Your body is not a machine that occasionally breaks down and needs external fixing. It is a magnificent, self-organizing, self-healing system of incredible intelligence and resilience. Every second of every day, millions of healing processes are occurring within you without any conscious direction on your part. Right now, as you rest here receiving these words, your immune system is patrolling your bloodstream, identifying and eliminating potential threats. Your liver is filtering toxins from your blood. Your heart is pumping life-giving oxygen to every cell. Your kidneys are maintaining perfect chemical balance in your internal environment. Cuts heal. Broken bones mend. Infections are overcome. This is not magic. This is the natural expression of your body's innate intelligence. The same force that grew you from a single fertilized cell into the complex, beautiful being you are today continues to operate within you, constantly working to maintain balance, repair damage, and optimize function. My body knows how to heal. As this phrase flows through your consciousness, it's not just an affirmation. It's a recognition of a profound truth that your cells have never forgotten, even if your mind is sometimes doubted. You see, one of the most damaging beliefs our culture has programmed into us is that our bodies are fragile, unreliable, and prone to failure. We're taught to fear illness, to distrust our symptoms, to believe that aging inevitably means decay and deterioration. But what if I told you that this programming is not only false, but actually harmful to your health? What if the very beliefs you hold about your body's capabilities directly influence those capabilities? Research in the field of psychoneuroimmunology, the study of how thoughts and emotions affect immune function, has shown conclusively that your beliefs about health and illness directly impact your body's ability to heal. People who believe in their body's capacity for recovery consistently have better health outcomes than those who don't. This isn't just the placebo effect. It's the recognition that consciousness and biology are intimately connected. Your thoughts create chemical cascades that either support or suppress your immune system. Your emotions directly influence the production of healing hormones or stress hormones that affect every system in your body. When you truly believe my body knows how to heal, you activate what we might call your inner physician, that aspect of your innate intelligence that knows exactly what your body needs at any given moment to restore balance and optimal function. This inner physician doesn't need medical school training. It operates from a wisdom that is billions of years old, encoded in your DNA, refined through eons of evolution. It knows how to coordinate the incomprehensibly complex symphony of biochemical processes that keep you alive and thriving. Feel this wisdom stirring within you now. Notice how your body naturally adjusts its posture, its breathing, its temperature regulation without any conscious thought on your part. Observe the miracle of your heartbeat, the rhythm of your breath, the constant flow of life force through your being. My body knows how to heal. Let this statement penetrate into any areas where you may be holding pain, tension, or dis-ease. Your body is not your enemy. It is your most intimate partner in this journey of life, constantly communicating with you through sensation, constantly working to support your highest good. Sometimes the body's healing process requires rest, and it creates fatigue to force you to slow down. Sometimes it requires emotional release, and it creates symptoms that bring suppressed feelings to the surface. Sometimes it requires lifestyle changes, and it creates discomfort that motivates you to make healthier choices. Your body's wisdom extends far beyond just physical healing. It is intimately connected to your emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. When you honor and trust your body's innate intelligence, you align yourself with the natural flow of life force that seeks always to express itself as greater health, vitality, and aliveness. As you continue to relax more deeply, imagine this healing intelligence flowing through every system of your body. See it as golden light moving through your bloodstream, carrying healing energy to every cell. Feel it as warm, nurturing presence filling any areas that need extra attention or care. Your body knows how to heal from physical ailments, but it also knows how to heal emotional wounds, mental patterns that no longer serve, and spiritual disconnections that create suffering. It is a living temple of transformation, constantly working to align you with your highest potential. My body knows how to heal. Trust this truth. Trust the wisdom of your cells. Trust the intelligence that has kept you alive through every challenge you've ever faced. Trust that even now, as you rest in this state of deep relaxation, profound healing is occurring on levels you may not even be consciously aware of. Your body is not just healing. It is upgrading, evolving, becoming a more perfect vessel for the expression of your truest, most radiant self. Every cell is awakening to its highest potential. Every system is aligning with patterns of optimal function. This is not just about physical health, though that will certainly improve as you embody this belief. This is about recognizing yourself as a self-healing, self-regulating, constantly evolving expression of life's infinite creativity and intelligence. You are not broken and in need of fixing. You are whole and constantly becoming more whole. You are not a victim of your genetics or your circumstances. You are the conscious director of your own healing and transformation. My body knows how to heal. Carry these words into the deepest levels of your being, knowing that they are activating healing mechanisms that have been waiting for your permission, your trust, your conscious collaboration in the magnificent process of your own renewal. As you rest here in this liminal space between waking and sleeping, between the known and the unknown, I want to share with you one of the most revolutionary discoveries of our time, a discovery that changes everything about how we understand reality and our power to shape it. You exist not just as a physical body in a material world, but as a pattern of consciousness within an infinite field of pure potential. Quantum physics has revealed that at the deepest level of reality, everything is energy, vibration, frequency. The solid world you perceive through your senses is actually 99.9% empty space, filled with dancing patterns of possibility. This field, this quantum field of infinite potential, responds to consciousness. It responds to your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your intentions. In ways that classical science is only beginning to understand, your consciousness literally participates in creating the reality you experience. This isn't mystical speculation anymore. It's measurable science. Experiments have shown that the simple act of observation changes the behavior of subatomic particles. The thoughts and expectations of the researcher influence the outcome of quantum experiments. Consciousness and matter are inextricably intertwined in ways that transform our understanding of what's possible. What this means for you, for your life, for your healing and transformation, is profound beyond measure. You are not a passive victim of circumstances, genetics, or fate. You are an active participant in the creation of your reality, a co-creator with the intelligent universe that surrounds and fills you. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold sends ripples through this quantum field, attracting experiences, people, and opportunities that match your vibrational frequency. This is not the law of attraction as it's often superficially understood, but something far more fundamental: the recognition that consciousness and reality are two aspects of the same phenomenon. The 8 phrases you're receiving tonight work precisely with this principle. They are not just positive affirmations. They are vibrational templates, frequency patterns that align your consciousness with the aspects of reality you wish to experience more fully. When you deeply embody the statement, "I am safe in this moment," you broadcast a frequency of safety into the quantum field. This field responds by organizing circumstances, relationships, and experiences that reflect and support this inner state of safety. When you truly believe "my body knows how to heal," you align with the quantum patterns of perfect health and vitality that exist as potential within the field. Your cells begin to resonate with these patterns, expressing higher levels of order, coherence, and optimal function. This is not magic, though it may seem magical from our current level of understanding. This is the natural operation of consciousness within the fundamental structure of reality. You have always been doing this, creating your experience through your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and emotional patterns. The difference is that now you can do it consciously, intentionally, with full awareness of your creative power and responsibility. In the quantum field, all possibilities exist simultaneously. The version of you that is perfectly healthy exists. The version of you that is abundant and secure exists. The version of you that is deeply loved and loving exists. The version of you that is living your highest purpose exists. These are not fantasy projections or wishful thinking. They are real potentials within the field, waiting for your consciousness to select and collapse them into your experienced reality through the power of focused attention, emotional alignment, and consistent belief. The key to accessing these higher potentials lies in understanding that change happens not through force or struggle, but through alignment and resonance. You cannot create a new reality from an old frequency. You cannot heal from a vibration of fear or manifest abundance from a consciousness of lack. This is why the work we're doing tonight is so crucial. As these transformative phrases penetrate into your subconscious mind during this receptive theta state, they're literally tuning your consciousness to new frequencies, new vibrational patterns that are coherent with the experiences you truly desire. The quantum field responds to coherence, the alignment between what you think, what you feel, what you believe, and what you envision. When these aspects of your consciousness are unified around a clear intention, the field has no choice but to reflect this coherence back to you as your lived experience. This is why it's so important that these phrases feel true to you, that they resonate in your heart, as well as your mind. Your subconscious mind and your energy field are constantly communicating with the quantum field, either reinforcing your current reality or calling forth a new one. As you continue to relax more deeply, imagine yourself as a tuning fork, vibrating at frequencies of health, safety, abundance, love, and peace. Feel these frequencies radiating out from your being, creating coherent patterns in the field around you. See yourself as both the observer and the observed, the creator and the creation, the dreamer and the dream. Recognize that you are not separate from the universe you inhabit. You are a unique expression of its infinite creativity, endowed with the power to consciously direct your own evolution. The old paradigm told us that we are separate beings in a mechanical universe, subject to forces beyond our control. The new paradigm reveals that we are aspects of a living, responsive, intelligent cosmos that is always seeking to express itself more fully through our individual experiences. From this quantum perspective, healing is not about fixing what's broken. It's about aligning with the pattern of wholeness that already exists in the field. Abundance is not about acquiring what you lack. It's about resonating with the infinite supply that surrounds you. Love is not about finding someone to complete you. It's about remembering the unity that has never been absent. Tonight, as these words carry you deeper into the mystery of your own infinite nature, know that you are participating in the conscious evolution of humanity itself. You are learning to work with the fundamental forces of creation, to become a more conscious and skillful co-creator with the intelligence that orchestrates galaxies and grows flowers with equal precision and care. The quantum field is waiting for your clear signal, your coherent intention, your aligned frequency. What will you choose to create? Allow these words to flow into the deepest chambers of your heart. I receive all that I need. Feel them dissolving any walls you may have built around your capacity to receive, any barriers that have kept you from fully embracing the abundant nature of existence itself. Receiving is one of the most challenging practices for many souls walking this earth. You have been taught to strive, to earn, to prove your worthiness through effort and struggle. You have learned to give endlessly while forgetting how to gracefully accept the gifts that life is constantly offering you. But tonight, in this sacred space of transformation, you are remembering a fundamental truth. You are not separate from the source of all abundance. You are not outside looking in, hoping for scraps from a limited supply. You are an integral part of an infinitely generous universe that delights in expressing itself through your unique form and experience. I receive all that I need. Notice what happens in your body as you hear these words. Do you feel expansion or contraction? Openness or resistance? Your body's response reveals layers of programming around worthiness, deserving, and your fundamental relationship with abundance. True abundance is not about accumulating possessions or achieving external goals. True abundance is a state of consciousness, a way of being that recognizes the infinite creativity and provision that flows through every moment of existence. It is the awareness that you live in a universe of such vast richness that there is always enough for everyone, including you. Your needs are not burdens upon the universe. They are invitations for life to express its creative generosity through your experience. Every genuine need you have represents an opportunity for the universal intelligence to demonstrate its infinite capacity to provide, support, and nourish all of its creations. When you were conceived, the universe said yes to your existence. When you drew your first breath, life itself welcomed you into being. This yes, this welcome, this fundamental embrace has never been withdrawn. It continues in every heartbeat, every breath, every moment of your ongoing existence. I receive all that I need. This is not about wanting more things or having all your desires instantly fulfilled. This is about opening to the constant flow of life's provision that is always available, but sometimes blocked by beliefs of unworthiness, fear of disappointment, or patterns of overgiving that leave no space for receiving. Your needs extend far beyond material requirements. You need love, and the universe is constantly sending you love through countless channels. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the loyalty of a pet, the smile of a stranger, the beauty of a sunset. You need peace, and every moment offers you the possibility of stillness, of presence, of returning to the quiet center within yourself. You need purpose, and life is continuously presenting you with opportunities to contribute your unique gifts to the healing and evolution of our world. You need growth, and every challenge you face is an invitation to expand into a greater version of yourself. The universe's definition of what you need may sometimes differ from your ego's definition of what you want. The intelligence that grows your hair and beats your heart knows what truly serves your highest good, in ways that your personality mind cannot always comprehend. As you breathe these words deeper into your being, I receive all that I need. You are programming your subconscious mind to notice and accept the countless ways that life is already providing for you. You are training your awareness to recognize abundance in forms you may have previously overlooked or dismissed. Perhaps the abundance you need today comes in the form of a conversation that opens a new door of opportunity. Perhaps it arrives as an insight that solves a problem you've been struggling with. Perhaps it manifests as the courage to make a necessary change, or the peace to accept what cannot be changed. Abundance is not always flashy or obvious. Sometimes it whispers rather than shouts. Sometimes it comes disguised as ordinary moments, simple pleasures, or quiet grace. The more open you become to receiving in all its forms, the more you realize that you have always been surrounded by abundance. You simply needed to develop eyes to see it and a heart to receive it. Your ability to receive is directly connected to your sense of worthiness. Many people unconsciously limit their capacity to receive because they carry deep beliefs about not being worthy of good things, not deserving happiness, or needing to earn love through sacrifice and struggle. But your worthiness is not based on your achievements, your behavior, or your ability to be perfect. Your worthiness is inherent in your existence. You are worthy of abundance because you are a beloved expression of the same creative force that spins galaxies and paints flowers with impossible beauty. I receive all that I need. Let this phrase heal any wounds around worthiness that may be stored in your cellular memory. Let it reprogram any beliefs that told you that you had to earn love, prove your value, or diminish yourself to make others comfortable. As you open more fully to receiving, you also increase your capacity to give authentically. When you are nourished by the constant flow of universal provision, you can offer your gifts to the world from a place of overflow rather than depletion. You become a clear channel through which abundance can flow to others. This is the sacred circulation of giving and receiving that keeps energy moving through all of creation. Rivers receive water from the sky and give it to the ocean. Trees receive nutrients from the earth and give oxygen to all living beings. You are part of this same divine economy of mutual support and nourishment. Feel yourself now as part of this vast network of exchange, this web of interdependence where every being is both giver and receiver, both student and teacher, both supported and supporting. You do not need to earn your place in this web. You already belong simply by virtue of being alive. I receive all that I need. Breathe these words into any places in your life where you have been struggling, striving, or feeling depleted. Let them soften any hardened places in your heart where disappointment or betrayal have made you reluctant to open to life's gifts. Trust that the universe knows what you need better than you do, and that it is always working to provide for you in ways that serve your highest evolution and deepest joy. Sometimes its provision comes immediately and obviously. Sometimes it comes slowly and mysteriously, but it always comes, because you are never separate from the source of all abundance. Tonight, as these words carry you deeper into the realm of infinite possibility, know that you are opening channels within yourself that have been closed for too long. You are remembering your birthright as a beloved child of an infinitely generous cosmos. You are learning to receive with the same natural ease that a flower receives sunlight or a tree receives rain. This is not selfish. This is sacred. This is you taking your rightful place in the grand circulation of love that keeps all worlds spinning and all hearts beating. Something extraordinary is happening within you right now as these words flow through your consciousness. Your heart and brain are beginning to synchronize in ways that create optimal conditions for deep transformation and healing. This is not just metaphorical. It is a measurable phenomenon that holds the key to accelerated personal evolution. Your heart is far more than just a pump for your circulatory system. It contains approximately 40,000 neurons, a sophisticated neural network that processes information and communicates directly with your brain. Your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, radiating several feet beyond your physical form and influencing the biofields of everyone around you. When your heart and brain work in harmony, what scientists call heart-brain coherence, something magical occurs. Your nervous system shifts into optimal function. Your mental clarity improves dramatically. Your emotional balance stabilizes. Your immune system strengthens. Your capacity for insight, creativity, and intuitive knowing expands exponentially. Most people live in a state of incoherence, where their heart and brain are sending conflicting signals to each other. The brain might be thinking one thing while the heart is feeling something entirely different. This internal conflict creates stress, confusion, and inefficiency in every system of your body. But as you rest here in this deeply receptive state, breathing slowly and naturally, your heart rhythm is beginning to smooth out into what researchers call a coherent wave pattern. This coherent heart rhythm sends harmonizing signals to your brain, creating a state of psychophysiological coherence that optimizes your entire being. In this state of coherence, your access to higher-order brain functions improves dramatically. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for creativity, decision-making, and emotional regulation, comes online more fully. Your intuitive faculties sharpen. Your ability to perceive solutions and possibilities that were previously hidden becomes enhanced. This is the optimal state for reprogramming your subconscious mind, because when your heart and brain are coherent, they work together to integrate new information more effectively. The emotional resonance of your heart and the analytical capabilities of your brain unite to create lasting positive change in your neural networks. The phrases you are receiving tonight work most powerfully when they are felt in your heart, as well as understood by your mind. Your heart has its own intelligence, its own knowing, its own way of processing and integrating truth. When your heart recognizes the truth of statements like, "I am safe in this moment," or "My body knows how to heal," it generates coherent rhythms that amplify and stabilize these new patterns in your consciousness. Feel into your heart space now. Place your attention gently in the center of your chest, in the area of your physical heart. Notice the rhythm of your heartbeat, the flow of breath that naturally accompanies each pulse. Allow your breathing to become slower and deeper, creating more space between each heartbeat. As your heart rhythm becomes more coherent, it begins to entrain your entire nervous system to this state of harmony. Your brain waves shift into more synchronized patterns. Your hormonal system comes into better balance. Your energy field becomes more organized and radiant. From this state of heart-brain coherence, the transformative phrases you receive penetrate much deeper into your subconscious programming. They are received not just as intellectual concepts, but as felt experiences that resonate through your entire being. This embodied reception creates faster, more stable, and more comprehensive change. Many ancient traditions understood this principle intuitively. They recognized the heart as the seat of wisdom, the place where divine intelligence and human consciousness meet. They developed practices of heart-centered meditation, contemplation, and prayer that naturally induced states of coherence and expanded awareness. Modern science is now validating what mystics have always known. The heart is an organ of perception as well as circulation. It can sense and respond to information in your environment before your brain is consciously aware of it. It can detect the emotional states of others and attune to subtle energy patterns that influence your well-being and decision-making. When you learn to live from heart-brain coherence, you gain access to a form of intelligence that is both deeply personal and universally connected. You begin to make decisions that serve not only your individual good, but the good of the whole. You become more naturally compassionate, more intuitively wise, more authentically powerful. This coherent state also makes you more magnetic to positive experiences and opportunities. Your coherent heart field broadcasts a signal of harmony, wholeness, and love that attracts circumstances and people that resonate with these qualities. You literally become a walking blessing, a source of coherent energy that uplifts and harmonizes everyone you encounter. As you continue to rest in this state of deepening coherence, feel your heart expanding with appreciation for this moment, for this opportunity to transform, for the miraculous intelligence of your own being. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to generate heart coherence, and coherence amplifies the power of gratitude exponentially. Feel appreciation flowing through your heart for your body's incredible capacity to heal and regenerate. Feel gratitude for your mind's ability to learn, grow, and create new patterns of thinking and believing. Feel thankfulness for the mysterious intelligence that coordinates the countless processes keeping you alive and conscious in this moment. This appreciation creates a positive feedback loop of coherence that strengthens with every breath. Your grateful heart sends harmonizing signals to your brain. Your coherent brain responds with clearer thinking and more positive emotions. These positive emotions further enhance your heart coherence, creating an upward spiral of well-being and transformation. In this state of heart-brain coherence, you are not just receiving these transformative phrases, you are embodying them. You are not just thinking positive thoughts, you are aligning your entire being with the frequencies of health, safety, abundance, and love that these words represent. This is the secret to lasting transformation, not just changing what you think, but aligning what you think with what you feel, with what you believe, with what you envision. When all aspects of your consciousness are unified and coherent, you become an unstoppable force for positive change in your own life and in the world around you. From this place of coherence, the remaining phrases you will receive tonight will penetrate even more deeply into your being, creating transformation that extends far beyond this single session into every aspect of your daily experience. Let these words penetrate the deepest places in your heart where you may have forgotten this most fundamental truth. I am worthy of love. Feel them dissolving barriers you may not even know you've built around your capacity to receive and give love freely, completely, unconditionally. This single belief, whether you truly know yourself to be worthy of love, shapes everything in your experience. It influences how you show up in relationships, how you treat your own body, how you speak to yourself in moments of difficulty, how you receive compliments, how you handle success, and how you navigate failure. For many beautiful souls, the wound of feeling unworthy of love runs so deep that it operates completely below conscious awareness. It whispers in the shadows of consciousness, creating patterns of self-sabotage, people-pleasing, perfectionism, or isolation that keep love at arm's length even while desperately yearning for it. This wound often began very early in life, sometimes before you even had language to understand what was happening. Perhaps you received conditional love that taught you that you were only acceptable when you performed correctly, behaved perfectly, or met others' expectations. Perhaps you experienced rejection, abandonment, or criticism that your young psyche interpreted as evidence of your fundamental unworthiness. But I want you to understand something that may transform everything. These early experiences, painful as they may have been, were not accurate reflections of your true worth. They were reflections of other people's wounds, limitations, and unconscious patterns. They were not verdicts about your lovability. They were simply circumstances that temporarily obscured the truth of your infinite preciousness. I am worthy of love. This is not something you need to earn, achieve, or prove. This is something you are by virtue of existing. Your worthiness of love is not based on your achievements, your appearance, your behavior, or your ability to meet anyone else's needs or expectations. You are worthy of love because you are a unique expression of the same creative force that brings forth stars and flowers, mountains and oceans, with unlimited artistry and care. The same intelligence that crafted your fingerprints unlike any other fingerprints in history also wove into your being a capacity for love that is both deeply personal and universally connected. Feel this truth settling into your cellular memory now. Every cell in your body is literally made of love. The love that brought your parents together, the love that nurtured you in the womb, the love that has sustained you through every moment of your existence, even when you couldn't feel it or recognize it. Your heart has been beating since before you were born, pumping love through your bloodstream in the form of oxygen and nutrients to every part of your being. Your lungs have been breathing for you automatically, receiving love from the air around you, and giving back what the plants need to survive. Your entire existence is embedded in relationships of mutual support and care. I am worthy of love. Let this statement heal any places where you have been withholding love from yourself, through harsh self-criticism, through denial of your own needs, through patterns of self-neglect or self-punishment. The way you treat yourself sets the template for how others learn to treat you. When you truly know your own worthiness of love, you naturally create boundaries that protect this precious truth. You stop accepting treatment that contradicts your inherent value. You begin to attract people who recognize and honor the love that you are, rather than people who are unconsciously trying to heal their own wounds through you. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or closed-hearted. It means becoming so full of your own wholeness that you can love others from a place of overflow, rather than depletion. From a place of choice rather than compulsion, from a place of freedom rather than fear. Your capacity to love others is directly proportional to your ability to receive love yourself. When you know yourself as worthy of love, you create space for others to show up as their most loving selves. You stop trying to earn love through overgiving or people-pleasing, and you start allowing love to flow naturally through authentic connection and genuine care. Many people fear that if they truly embrace their worthiness of love, they will become arrogant, demanding, or selfish. But the opposite is actually true. When you know your own worth, you don't need to prove it, defend it, or extract validation from others. You become naturally generous because you're not operating from scarcity or insecurity. I am worthy of love. Feel how this statement changes your posture, your breathing, your energy field. When you truly embody this truth, you naturally stand taller, breathe deeper, and radiate a quality of presence that draws love to you like a magnet. This phrase is also healing ancestral patterns of unworthiness that may have been passed down through generations of your family lineage. Many families carry inherited trauma around worthiness, belonging, and love that gets transmitted through epigenetic mechanisms and unconscious behavioral patterns. As you embrace your own worthiness of love, you are not only healing yourself, you are healing backwards and forwards through your lineage. You are becoming the ancestor your descendants will thank, the one who broke the chain of inherited unworthiness and established a new pattern of self-love and healthy relationships. Feel love flowing to you now from all directions, from the earth beneath you, from the sky above you, from the air around you. Feel love flowing to you from everyone who has ever cared about you, from your future self, who is proud of the courage you're showing right now, from the universe itself, which delights in your unique expression of consciousness. This love is not something you need to deserve. It's something you need to recognize and receive. It has always been here, surrounding you, filling you, flowing through you. You have never actually been separate from love, though you may have sometimes felt that way. I am worthy of love. Breathe these words into any relationships in your life where you have been settling for less than genuine care and respect. Let them strengthen your capacity to show up authentically, to express your needs clearly, to receive appreciation gracefully, and to give love freely without keeping score. In this state of deep relaxation and receptivity, your subconscious mind is rewriting the fundamental code of how you relate to yourself and others. Old patterns of unworthiness are being dissolved and replaced with the unshakable knowing of your inherent lovability. You are not too much or too little. You are not broken and in need of fixing. You are not a burden or a problem to be solved. You are a magnificent being of love, temporarily inhabiting a human form, worthy of all the care, respect, appreciation, and affection that your heart desires. Tonight, as you drift into sleep carrying this truth in your consciousness, know that you are re-establishing your birthright as a beloved child of an infinitely loving universe. Within every cell of your body lies a vast library of memory that extends far beyond your personal experiences. Your cells carry the wisdom of your ancestors, the imprints of your emotional history, and even the echoes of collective human experience. Understanding this cellular memory is crucial to comprehending how deep transformation actually occurs. Science has discovered that our cells don't just store genetic information, they store experiential information. Trauma, love, fear, joy, and every other significant experience you've ever had leaves its mark not just in your brain, but in the very tissues of your body. This is why certain physical sensations can trigger vivid memories, why your body sometimes reacts to situations before your mind understands why. Your heart cells remember every moment of love and every instance of heartbreak. Your muscle cells remember every moment of safety and every experience of threat. Your immune cells remember every challenge they've overcome and every toxin they've processed. Your nervous system cells remember every pattern of thought and emotion you've repeated throughout your life. But here's what's truly remarkable. Your cells are not prisoners of these memories. They are constantly regenerating, constantly creating new proteins, constantly updating their internal programs based on the information they receive from your consciousness in this present moment. The transformative phrases you're receiving tonight work at this cellular level, literally rewriting the memory codes that have been running your biology. When you deeply receive the statement, "I am safe in this moment," you're not just changing a thought pattern, you're updating the cellular memory that may have been holding patterns of hypervigilance or chronic stress. Your cells are exquisitely sensitive to the quality of consciousness you bring to each moment. They respond to your beliefs, your emotions, your intentions, and your level of coherence or incoherence. This responsiveness is what makes profound healing and transformation possible at any stage of life. Many people carry cellular memories that don't even belong to their personal experience. Epigenetic research has shown that trauma and resilience patterns can be passed down through generations, encoded in the expression of genes that get activated or suppressed based on environmental factors, including the quality of your thoughts and emotions. This means you may be carrying in your cellular memory the fears, limitations, and survival patterns of parents, grandparents, or even earlier ancestors who lived through wars, famines, persecution, or other challenging circumstances. These inherited patterns can influence your behavior, your health, your relationships, and your prosperity in ways you may never have consciously understood. But the beautiful news is that what can be inherited can also be healed. As you receive these transformative phrases in this deeply receptive state, you're not only healing your own cellular memories, you're potentially healing generations of inherited limitation and opening new possibilities for your entire lineage. Your cells are also influenced by collective cellular memory, the shared emotional and psychological patterns of humanity as a whole. We are all connected through what some scientists call morphic fields, invisible networks of information that connect all living beings and influence behavior, learning, and evolution. When you heal and transform, you contribute to the healing and transformation of the collective human cellular memory. Your individual awakening sends ripples through the field of consciousness that make it easier for others to access similar states of healing and wholeness. This is why the work you're doing tonight is not just personal, it's planetary. Every limiting belief you release, every fear you transform, every pattern of love you embody, adds to the collective reservoir of healing available to all humanity. Your cellular memory also includes what we might call soul memory, the accumulated wisdom and experience of your consciousness across multiple lifetimes and dimensions of existence. Whether or not you believe in reincarnation, quantum physics suggests that consciousness exists in forms that transcend individual lifetimes and physical embodiments. Some of the fears, attractions, talents, and challenges you experience in this lifetime may be echoes of experiences your soul has had in other contexts. Some of the healing you're doing now may be completing processes that began in other times and places. The 8 phrases you're working with tonight address core themes that appear to be universal human experiences across all cultures and time periods. The need for safety, the capacity for healing, the desire for abundance, the yearning for love, the importance of trust, the quest for authenticity, the search for peace, and the longing for unity. By working with these universal themes at the cellular level, you're not only transforming your personal experience, you're contributing to the evolution of consciousness itself. You're helping to birth new possibilities for what it means to be human in this time of unprecedented change and awakening. Feel into your cellular memory now with compassion and curiosity, rather than judgment or fear. Whatever patterns your cells have been holding, they were once adaptive responses to challenging circumstances. They served a purpose, protected you in some way, helped you survive and navigate difficult terrain. Honor these cellular memories as you prepare to update them. Thank them for their service. Acknowledge the wisdom they contain even as you recognize that some of them may no longer serve your highest evolution. Your cells are incredibly intelligent and adaptable. They want to support your highest good, your deepest healing, your most authentic expression. When you provide them with new information through transformed beliefs and elevated emotions, they eagerly update their programs to align with these higher possibilities. As these transformative phrases continue to flow through your consciousness, imagine them reaching into the deepest levels of your cellular memory, bringing healing light to any areas that have been holding pain, fear, or limitation. See your cells lighting up with recognition as they remember their original blueprint of perfect health, unlimited love, and infinite potential. Your cellular memory is not your destiny, it's your starting point. From this moment forward, every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you embrace is writing new memories into your cells, creating new patterns, opening new possibilities. You are literally becoming a new person at the cellular level, moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. Breathe deeply now and allow these words to settle into the very core of your being. I trust the process of life. Feel them dissolving the tension that comes from trying to control outcomes, from pushing against the natural flow of existence, from the exhaustion of believing that everything depends on your personal effort and will. Trust. This may be one of the most challenging practices for souls who have experienced betrayal, disappointment, or loss. When life has surprised you with unexpected challenges, when people have let you down, when your best-laid plans have crumbled, it can feel dangerous to trust anything or anyone, including life itself. But what if I told you that your lack of trust in life's process is actually creating more struggle, more resistance, more suffering than the very experiences you're trying to protect yourself from? What if the attempt to control outcomes is preventing you from receiving the gifts that life is trying to offer you? There is an intelligence operating in your life that is far greater than your personality mind can comprehend. The same intelligence that orchestrates the movement of planets, the migration of birds, the blooming of flowers in perfect season, and the beating of your heart without your conscious direction, is also orchestrating the events, relationships, and experiences of your human journey. I trust the process of life. This doesn't mean becoming passive or abandoning your dreams and goals. It means learning to work with life's intelligence rather than against it, to align your efforts with the natural flow of opportunity and timing, rather than forcing outcomes through sheer willpower. Think about how a river moves through landscape. It doesn't struggle against the rocks in its path. It flows around them, sometimes changing course, sometimes carving new channels, always moving toward its ultimate destination with patience, persistence, and perfect faith in its own nature. Your life has this same quality of intelligent flow when you learn to trust its process. Obstacles become opportunities for creative solutions. Delays become periods of necessary preparation or healing. Closed doors become redirections toward paths that serve your highest good more fully than the ones you originally chose. This trust is not naive optimism or spiritual bypassing of real challenges. It's a mature recognition that your perspective, no matter how clear it seems to you, is necessarily limited. You can see only a small portion of the larger pattern that your life is weaving. What appears to be a setback from your current vantage point may be a crucial setup for future blessings you cannot yet imagine. I trust the process of life. Let this phrase heal any places where you have been fighting against your circumstances, trying to make things happen on your timeline, or believing that you know better than life itself what you need and when you need it. Your soul chose this lifetime, these challenges, these opportunities for growth and service, for reasons that transcend your personality's understanding. Every experience you've had, including the difficult ones, has contributed something essential to your evolution, your wisdom, your capacity to serve others who face similar challenges. Trust includes trusting your own inner guidance, the subtle intuitive signals that are constantly trying to guide you toward choices that align with your highest good. Your body is constantly giving you information through sensation, energy, and gut feelings. Your heart is constantly communicating with you through attraction, repulsion, excitement, and peace. Learning to trust life's process means learning to listen to these subtle signals and follow them even when they don't make logical sense to your rational mind. It means being willing to take inspired action when opportunities present themselves, even if the timing feels inconvenient or the outcome uncertain. It also means being willing to wait, to pause, to allow things to unfold when your inner wisdom signals that pushing forward would create more resistance than progress. There is a season for planting and a season for harvesting, a time for action and a time for rest, a time for holding on and a time for letting go. I trust the process of life. Feel how this statement relaxes your nervous system, softens your breathing, releases tension from your muscles. When you trust life's process, you can stop carrying the impossible burden of trying to control everything and everyone around you. This trust also extends to trusting other people to have their own perfect timing, their own lessons to learn, their own paths to walk. You can love people, support them, and offer guidance when asked, but you cannot live their lives for them or save them from their own necessary experiences. Trusting life's process means accepting that some relationships will be temporary, some dreams will evolve into different forms, some plans will need to be adjusted as new information becomes available. This acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means staying open to possibilities you couldn't have planned or anticipated. Many of the most beautiful developments in your life have probably come as surprises, through synchronicities and serendipitous encounters that you couldn't have orchestrated through personal effort alone. These experiences are evidence of the benevolent intelligence that is constantly working behind the scenes of your life. As you deepen into trust, you begin to notice the countless ways that life has always been supporting you, guiding you, protecting you from situations that would have harmed you, and preparing you for opportunities that required the exact combination of skills, experience, and wisdom you've developed through your unique journey. I trust the process of life. This trust becomes a portal for miracles, synchronicities, and grace to enter your experience more freely. When you stop trying to force outcomes and instead align with life's natural intelligence, you discover that you are supported in ways that surpass your wildest imagination. Trust also means trusting your own resilience, your capacity to handle whatever life presents to you. You have survived every challenge you've faced so far. You have grown stronger, wiser, and more compassionate through difficulties that once seemed insurmountable. This doesn't mean that future challenges will be easy, but it does mean that you have within you everything you need to navigate whatever arises with grace, wisdom, and ultimately, growth. Life never gives you more than you can handle, though it sometimes gives you exactly as much as you can handle to help you discover strengths you didn't know you possessed. Feel yourself relaxing into this trust now, letting go of the need to have all the answers, to see the complete picture, to know how everything will work out. Rest in the knowing that you are held, guided, and loved by an intelligence that is far more creative, patient, and wise than your personality mind could ever be. I trust the process of life. To carry these words with you into sleep, letting them create a foundation of peace and surrender that allows life's gifts to flow to you with greater ease and less resistance. The process of life is not something happening to you. It's something happening through you as you, for the highest good of all involved. As you rest here in this threshold space between ordinary consciousness and expanded awareness, I want to share with you one of the most profound realizations of both ancient wisdom and modern science. You are not an isolated individual consciousness trapped inside a physical body. You are a unique expression of one universal consciousness, temporarily focused through the lens of your personal experience. This understanding changes everything about how we approach transformation, healing, and the creation of positive change in our lives. When you recognize that your individual mind is part of a vast field of consciousness that connects all beings, you begin to access resources, guidance, and support that extend far beyond your personal knowledge and abilities. Quantum physicists describe this as the unified field, the underlying fabric of reality, from which all particles, forces, and phenomena emerge. Mystics throughout history have called it the divine mind, the source, the all that is. Psychologists studying collective behavior have observed what they call morphic resonance, the way that behaviors and insights spread through populations faster than can be explained by normal communication. Whatever you choose to call it, this field of consciousness is not theoretical, it's experiential. Right now, as you rest in this receptive state, you have access to wisdom, healing, and creative solutions that exist beyond the boundaries of your personal memory and experience. The transformative phrases you're receiving tonight don't work solely through your individual subconscious mind. They connect you to archetypal patterns of healing, safety, abundance, and love that exist within the collective consciousness of humanity. When you align with the statement, "I am safe," you're tapping into every experience of genuine safety that has ever been felt by any human being. This is why certain phrases, symbols, and experiences feel universally meaningful across different cultures and time periods. They resonate with something deeper than personal conditioning. They resonate with the fundamental structures of consciousness itself. Your individual healing contributes to the healing of the collective field, just as the collective field supports your individual transformation. Every fear you release makes it easier for others to release similar fears. Every limiting belief you transform weakens that pattern in the morphic field, making it less likely to be repeated by future generations. This is not just beautiful philosophy. It's practical information that can accelerate your growth and healing exponentially. Instead of trying to figure everything out through your personal intelligence alone, you can learn to access the infinite intelligence of the field through practices like meditation, prayer, contemplation, and the receptive state you're in right now. Many of your most profound insights, creative ideas, and healing breakthroughs don't actually originate in your personal mind. They arise from your ability to tune in to information that already exists in the field of consciousness, waiting to be discovered by minds that are quiet, open, and receptive enough to receive it. This is how great artists, scientists, and innovators throughout history have described their most important discoveries, not as personal achievements, but as downloads from a source of intelligence greater than themselves. They learned to get their personality minds out of the way and become clear channels for universal wisdom to flow through. You have this same capacity. In fact, you've been accessing it your entire life, often without realizing it. Every intuitive insight you've ever had, every moment when you just knew something without logical explanation, every time you've been in the right place at the right time through some mysterious guidance, these are all examples of your connection to the universal field of consciousness. As you continue to relax more deeply, feel your awareness expanding beyond the boundaries of your physical body. Imagine your consciousness as a drop of water, recognizing its unity with the vast ocean from which it has never actually been separate. Feel yourself held, supported, and guided by an intelligence that loves you unconditionally and wants nothing more than your highest happiness and fullest expression. This connection to universal consciousness doesn't diminish your individuality, it enhances it. Just as each wave on the ocean has its own unique shape and movement, while remaining part of the whole, your personality, talents, and life purpose remain beautifully distinct while being supported by the infinite creativity of the field. From this expanded perspective, your challenges and difficulties take on new meaning. They are not random punishments or signs of your inadequacy. They are precisely designed opportunities for growth, healing, and service that could only be navigated by someone with your exact combination of strengths, experiences, and perspectives. Your life is not an accident. Your presence here, at this time, with these particular gifts and challenges, is a carefully orchestrated expression of universal intelligence, seeking to know itself more fully through your unique experience. You are not just a recipient of this intelligence, you are an active participant in its ongoing evolution and expansion. When you align with this understanding, you begin to live with a sense of profound purpose and meaning that transcends personal achievement or external validation. You recognize that your healing contributes to the healing of the whole. Your awakening contributes to the awakening of humanity. Your love contributes to the love that is transforming our world. This connection to the field also means that you are never truly alone, never truly without guidance, never truly without support. Even in your darkest moments, even when you feel most isolated or confused, the infinite wisdom of universal consciousness is available to you through the simple practice of becoming still, becoming receptive, becoming open to receiving guidance from sources beyond your personal knowledge. The 8 phrases you're working with tonight serve as tuning forks, helping to align your individual consciousness with specific frequencies of the universal field. When you embody, "I trust the process of life," you connect with the cosmic intelligence that orchestrates all natural systems with perfect timing and precision. When you embrace, "My body knows how to heal," you align with the life force that animates all healing throughout the universe. This is why transformation can sometimes happen so quickly and seemingly miraculously. When your individual consciousness aligns perfectly with universal patterns of wholeness, health, abundance, and love, change occurs not through personal effort alone, but through the power of the field itself, reorganizing your experience to match your new vibrational frequency. Feel this support surrounding you now, this vast network of consciousness that includes every wise being who has ever lived, every healed soul who has overcome challenges similar to yours, every loving presence that wants to see you succeed and flourish. You are connected to a lineage of awakening that stretches back through time and extends forward into possibilities you cannot yet imagine. Your individual mind is like a radio receiver that can tune in to different frequencies within this vast field of consciousness. Most people remain tuned to frequencies of limitation, fear, and separation, simply because these are the frequencies they learn to access through their early conditioning and repeated thoughts. But tonight, as these transformative phrases flow through your awareness, you are learning to tune in to higher frequencies, frequencies of love, healing, abundance, trust, peace, and unity. The more consistently you tune in to these elevated states, the more they become your natural default setting. This is not about spiritual perfection or never experiencing challenges again. It's about developing the ability to maintain your connection to universal wisdom and love, even in the midst of temporary difficulties. It's about remembering that no matter what appears to be happening in your external circumstances, you always have access to an inner source of strength, guidance, and peace that cannot be disturbed by changing conditions. As you prepare to receive the remaining phrases that will complete this reprogramming process, feel yourself settling even more deeply into trust, into receptivity, into alignment with the infinite intelligence that is orchestrating this entire process for your highest good. You don't need to understand how transformation works. You only need to allow it to work through you. Allow these words to penetrate the deepest layers of your identity, the very core of how you understand yourself. I am becoming who I was meant to be. Feel them dissolving any false selves you may have constructed to please others, to fit in, or to protect yourself from rejection or abandonment. Your true identity is not the collection of roles you play, achievements you've accumulated, or labels others have given you. Your true identity is not your job title, your relationship status, your financial situation, or even your personality traits. These are all temporary expressions of who you are, but they are not who you are at the deepest level. Who you were meant to be exists as a perfect template within your consciousness, like a seed that contains the complete blueprint of the magnificent tree it will become. This template has been with you since before your birth, guiding your choices, attracting your experiences, and calling you toward your highest potential through every season of your life. Sometimes this calling whispers gently through attractions, interests, and natural talents that seem to arise from nowhere. Sometimes it speaks more urgently through dissatisfaction with situations that no longer fit, through restlessness that pushes you toward growth, or through crises that force you to shed outdated identities and discover who you really are beneath all the conditioning. I am becoming who I was meant to be. Notice how this phrase acknowledges that your authentic self is not something you need to create from scratch. It's something you are remembering, uncovering, and allowing to emerge more fully. You are not broken and in need of fixing. You are whole and in the process of revealing that wholeness more completely. Many people spend decades trying to become someone they think they should be based on family expectations, societal pressures, or comparisons with others. They develop elaborate personas designed to win approval, avoid criticism, or maintain safety in relationships and social situations. But these false selves, no matter how successful they appear to be, always feel hollow, exhausting, and ultimately unsatisfying. Your authentic self, on the other hand, feels effortless, natural, and energizing to embody. When you are aligned with who you were meant to be, you don't have to remember how to act or what to say. You simply respond from your natural essence. Your gifts flow freely, your relationships become more genuine, and your life takes on a quality of rightness and ease that no amount of external success can provide. This process of becoming who you were meant to be often requires dismantling aspects of your identity that once served you, but now feel constraining. The people pleaser may need to learn to disappoint others in order to honor their own truth. The perfectionist may need to embrace vulnerability and imperfection. The caretaker may need to learn to receive care from others. These transitions can feel scary because your personality mind has associated these old patterns with safety and acceptance, but your soul knows that outgrowing these limitations is essential for your growth and happiness. The caterpillar must dissolve its caterpillar identity completely in order to become the butterfly it was always meant to be. I am becoming who I was meant to be. Let this phrase give you permission to release any aspects of your identity that feel forced, artificial, or exhausting to maintain. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to be nice to everyone. You don't have to achieve certain milestones or live up to anyone else's vision of success. Your authentic self may be quieter than you learned to be to get attention. Your authentic self may be more sensitive than the culture tells you is acceptable. Your authentic self may have interests, values, or ways of being that don't fit into conventional categories or expectations. This is not only okay, it's essential. The world needs exactly what you came here to offer, not some watered-down version of yourself designed to fit in or avoid conflict. Your unique perspective, your particular combination of gifts and experiences, your specific way of seeing and responding to life is irreplaceable. As you continue to embody this truth, I am becoming who I was meant to be, you may notice that certain relationships in your life begin to shift. People who were attracted to your false self may lose interest as you become more authentic. This can be temporarily painful, but it creates space for relationships based on who you really are, rather than who you pretended to be. You may also notice that opportunities begin to appear that are more aligned with your true nature and purpose. When you stop trying to force yourself into ill-fitting roles and instead trust your natural unfolding, life begins to support your authentic expression in surprising and delightful ways. The process of becoming who you were meant to be is not about achieving some final, perfected state of being. It's about aligning more and more consistently with your essential nature, allowing your unique gifts to flower, and contributing to the world in ways that feel meaningful and fulfilling to you. Some days this alignment feels strong and clear. Other days you may feel confused, uncertain, or temporarily disconnected from your authentic self. This is all part of the natural process of growth and integration. Like a plant growing toward the sun, you naturally move toward greater alignment with your true nature, even when the path includes periods of darkness or uncertainty. Your authentic self is not fragile or easily disturbed. It has been with you through every challenge you've ever faced. It's the part of you that knows how to find hope in hopeless situations, how to love in the midst of conflict, how to create beauty from chaos. It's the source of your resilience, your creativity, and your capacity to inspire others through your example. I am becoming who I was meant to be. Feel how this statement creates space for your continued evolution and growth. You are not becoming a fixed, static version of yourself. You are becoming an ever more authentic expression of your eternal essence, adapted to serve this particular time and place in ways that only you can serve. Your authentic self knows what you need for optimal health, what environments support your well-being, what relationships nourish your soul, and what forms of service feel most meaningful and fulfilling. As you learn to listen to and trust this inner knowing, your life becomes an increasingly accurate reflection of your deepest values and highest aspirations. Trust this process of becoming. Trust that who you were meant to be is infinitely more beautiful, powerful, and valuable than any identity you could construct through effort or imitation. Your authentic self is your greatest gift to yourself and to the world. Tonight, as you rest in this state of deep receptivity, feel yourself shedding any remaining layers of false identity like a snake shedding old skin. What emerges is not new, it's eternally you, finally free to shine without apology or qualification. Something profound is happening in your brain right now as you rest in this state between waking and sleeping. Every time you hear and absorb these transformative phrases, you are literally carving new neural pathways, creating new superhighways of thought and belief that will become your new automatic patterns of consciousness. Understanding how repetition works in the brain is crucial to grasping why this process of nighttime reprogramming is so powerful. Your brain is constantly changing its structure based on the information it processes most frequently. Neuroscientists call this neurons that fire together, wire together, the fundamental principle of neuroplasticity. During your waking hours, your conscious mind acts as a gatekeeper, filtering, analyzing, and often rejecting information that contradicts your existing beliefs. This protective mechanism keeps you psychologically safe, but it also keeps you stuck in familiar patterns, even when those patterns no longer serve your highest good. But in the theta and delta brainwave states you naturally enter as you drift toward sleep, this critical gatekeeper relaxes its vigilance. Information can flow directly into your subconscious mind, where it encounters much less resistance. This is why advertising companies pay billions to place their messages in relaxed, receptive environments, and why therapists use hypnotic states to help clients overcome limiting beliefs. Each repetition of a transformative phrase like, "I am safe in this moment," creates a small but measurable change in your neural structure. Specific neurons begin to connect in new patterns. Chemical messengers are released that strengthen these new connections. Over time, these repeated neural firings create established pathways that become your new default responses to life situations. This is exactly how you learned everything you currently know how to do automatically. Walking, talking, reading, driving, or any complex skill. Through repetition, practice, and emotional engagement, temporary neural connections became permanent neural networks that now operate below the level of conscious thought. The same process that created your current limiting beliefs can create empowering beliefs. The same mechanism that installed fear-based patterns can install love-based patterns. The same brain plasticity that learned to expect lack can learn to expect abundance. But here's what makes this nighttime approach so particularly effective. During sleep, your brain naturally consolidates and integrates the information it processed during the day. It sorts through memories, strengthens important neural connections, and clears away unnecessary information. This natural process of memory consolidation can be consciously directed through the strategic repetition of positive, transformative content. When you consistently expose your sleeping mind to phrases like, "My body knows how to heal," or "I am worthy of love," you're giving your brain's natural consolidation process powerful, positive material to work with. Instead of spending the night reinforcing worries, fears, or negative self-talk, your brain spends those precious hours of plasticity, strengthening patterns of health, love, and abundance. Research has shown that information received just before and during sleep is processed more deeply and retained more permanently than information received during normal waking consciousness. This is why students often benefit from reviewing important material right before bed, and why therapeutic suggestions given during hypnotic states create faster and more lasting change than conscious reasoning alone. The emotional tone accompanying each repetition dramatically amplifies its impact on your neural structure. When you receive these phrases in a state of relaxation, safety, and openness, they penetrate more deeply, and create stronger neural pathways than if you heard them during stress or resistance. This is why the environment we've created together tonight is so important. The gentle tone, the progressive relaxation, the sense of safety and trust. These conditions optimize your brain's ability to receive and integrate new programming at the deepest levels. Each of the 8 phrases you're working with target specific neural networks associated with fundamental aspects of human experience. I am safe rewrites the neural patterns in your amygdala and stress response systems. My body knows how to heal influences the neural networks that govern your immune system and cellular regeneration. But the phrases don't work in isolation. They work synergistically, creating an integrated transformation that affects every aspect of your consciousness and biology. As your sense of safety increases, your body's natural healing mechanisms work more efficiently. As you become more confident in your worthiness of love, you naturally attract more loving relationships and opportunities. The repetition doesn't need to be forced or effortful. In fact, the more relaxed and receptive you are, the more effectively your brain can absorb and integrate these new patterns. Think of your mind as fertile soil, and these phrases as seeds. The gentler the planting, the deeper they can root. This is why consistency over time is more important than intensity. In any single session, a gentle, regular practice of positive programming creates deeper and more stable transformation than sporadic attempts at forced change. Your brain needs time to physically restructure itself around new patterns. Some of you may notice immediate shifts in your thoughts, emotions, or circumstances after tonight's session. Others may notice gradual changes over weeks or months as these new neural pathways strengthen and mature. Trust your unique process and timeline. Your brain knows exactly how to integrate these patterns in the way that serves your highest good. As you continue to rest in this receptive state, feel gratitude for your brain's incredible capacity to change and grow throughout your entire life. Every repetition you hear tonight is contributing to the creation of a more positive, healthy, and empowered version of yourself. Your brain is literally sculpting itself into a more perfect instrument for expressing your highest potential. With each phrase, each repetition, each moment of receptive attention, you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. Breathe these words into the very center of your being. Peace flows through me. Feel them washing away any tension, anxiety, or restlessness that may have been your constant companions for far too long. Allow them to create within you a sanctuary of stillness that no external circumstance can disturb. Peace is not merely the absence of conflict or stress. It is the presence of something infinitely more profound. It is the recognition of your own unchanging essence beneath all the changing forms of experience. It is the awareness that at your deepest core, beyond all thoughts, emotions, and circumstances, there exists a place of perfect stillness, unshakable calm, and profound serenity. This peace is not something you need to create or achieve. It is something you need to remember and allow. It has always been there, waiting patiently beneath the surface noise of your busy mind, like a deep underground spring that continues to flow even when the surface streams run dry. Peace flows through me. Notice how this phrase suggests that peace is not a static state, but a dynamic flow, like a river of tranquility moving through every cell of your body, every corner of your consciousness, every aspect of your experience. You are not trying to grasp peace or hold on to it. You are allowing it to move through you freely, naturally, continuously. Many people believe that peace is only possible when external conditions are perfect, when all problems are solved, all conflicts resolved, all uncertainties eliminated. But this kind of conditional peace is fragile and temporary, dependent upon circumstances that are largely beyond your control. The peace that flows through you now is unconditional peace, a quality of being that remains accessible regardless of what appears to be happening in your external world. This peace has been available to mystics and sages throughout history, even in the midst of persecution, illness, loss, and every imaginable form of human suffering. This doesn't mean that you become indifferent to pain or challenges, or that you stop caring about improving your circumstances. It means that you discover an unshakable foundation of inner stability that allows you to respond to life's ups and downs from a place of centeredness rather than reactivity. When peace flows through you, Your nervous system naturally shifts out of fight or flight activation and into the healing, regenerative state of parasympathetic dominance. Your heart rate slows and becomes more coherent. Your breathing deepens and becomes more rhythmic. Your muscles release tension they may have been holding for months or even years. This physiological shift toward peace has profound implications for your health, your relationships, your creativity, and your ability to navigate challenges with wisdom rather than reactivity. When your system is peaceful, you can think more clearly, feel more deeply, and act more wisely. Peace flows through me. Let this statement dissolve any beliefs you may have about peace being selfish, unrealistic, or inappropriate given the state of the world. Your inner peace is not indifference to suffering. It is the foundation from which you can respond to suffering with compassion, wisdom, and effective action. A peaceful person is not a passive person. Throughout history, the most powerful agents of positive change have been those who maintained inner peace even while working to transform unjust or harmful conditions. Their peace gave them the clarity to see solutions that reactive minds could not perceive, and the stamina to persist through obstacles that would have defeated less centered individuals. Your peace is a gift to everyone you encounter. When you embody genuine tranquility, you give others permission to access their own inner peace. Your calm presence can soothe anxious hearts, your steady energy can stabilize chaotic situations, and your centered responses can break cycles of conflict and drama. Feel this peace flowing through your physical body now, relaxing any areas where you may be holding stress or tension. Let it flow through your shoulders, releasing the burden of carrying responsibilities that don't belong to you. Let it flow through your jaw, softening the tightness that comes from words you've held back or emotions you've suppressed. Let peace flow through your heart, healing any wounds from relationships that have disappointed or betrayed you. Let it flow through your mind, calming the constant chatter of worries, judgments, and mental noise that can make your thoughts feel like a turbulent storm. Peace flows through me. This peace is not empty or vacant. It is full of presence, awareness, and loving kindness. It is not the peace of numbness or disconnection, but the peace of deep connection to your own essence and to the source of all life. In this peace, you remember who you truly are beyond all the roles you play and identities you've constructed. You remember your connection to something greater than your personal concerns and temporary circumstances. You remember that you are held by a love that has no conditions and no limits. This peace becomes a refuge you can return to at any moment throughout your day, simply by remembering these words and feeling them flowing through your being. When anxiety arises, you can invite peace to flow. When anger emerges, you can allow peace to flow. When confusion clouds your mind, you can open to peace flowing. The more consistently you return to this inner sanctuary of peace, the more it becomes your natural state of being. What once required effort and intention eventually becomes effortless and automatic. Peace becomes not something you do, but something you are. Feel yourself now as a conduit for peace, a clear channel through which the tranquility of the universe can flow into a world that desperately needs more calm, more centeredness, more wisdom in action. Your peace is not separate from global peace. It is a contribution to it. Peace flows through me, flows through. Let these words establish within your subconscious mind an unshakable knowing that no matter what temporary storms may arise in your life, you always have access to this place of profound stillness, this river of tranquility that flows from the source of all being through the vessel of your consciousness. As you continue to relax into this peace, feel it integrating into every level of your being, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. You are not just thinking peaceful thoughts. You are becoming peace itself, embodying it, radiating it, living it as your natural expression. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that is your birthright, the peace that transforms you and everyone you touch simply through your presence. As these transformative phrases flow through your consciousness, something remarkable is happening at the most fundamental level of your biology. Your genes themselves are listening and responding to the quality of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. This is the revolutionary discovery of epigenetics, and it means that you have far more control over your biological destiny than anyone previously imagined. For decades, we were taught that our genes were our fate. that the DNA we inherited from our parents determined our susceptibility to disease, our personality traits, our intelligence, and our lifespan. We believed we were victims of our genetic inheritance, powerless to change the biological programs running our lives. But epigenetic research has completely transformed this understanding. While your DNA sequence remains largely unchanged throughout your life, which genes are turned on or off, amplified or suppressed, is constantly being influenced by environmental factors, including the environment of your consciousness. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and the quality of your inner life create biochemical signals that directly influence genetic expression. When you think thoughts of fear, stress, or limitation, your cells receive chemical messages that turn on genes associated with inflammation, aging, and disease. When you think thoughts of love, peace, and possibility, your cells receive different chemical signals that activate genes associated with healing, regeneration, and optimal function. This means that every time you receive one of these transformative phrases with deep emotional resonance, you are literally sending signals to your genes that can enhance your health, increase your vitality, and optimize your biological function. You are not just changing your psychology, you are changing your biology at the most fundamental level. The phrase, "my body knows how to heal," doesn't just create a positive mental attitude. It sends signals to genes involved in immune function, DNA repair, and cellular regeneration. The statement, "I am safe in this moment," doesn't just calm your mind. It influences genes that regulate stress hormones, inflammation, and cardiovascular health. This is why belief is such a powerful force in healing. The placebo effect, once dismissed as mere psychological trickery, is now recognized as evidence of consciousness's direct influence on genetic expression. When people truly believe they are receiving effective treatment, their genes respond by activating healing mechanisms that can create measurable improvements in health conditions. But the implications extend far beyond physical healing. Your beliefs about your capacity for love, abundance, creativity, and success also influence genetic programs that affect your energy levels, your cognitive function, your emotional resilience, and your ability to form meaningful relationships. This epigenetic influence works both ways. Positive consciousness enhances beneficial genetic expression, while negative consciousness suppresses it. This is why chronic stress, depression, and trauma have such devastating effects on health, and why practices like meditation, prayer, and positive visualization have such powerful healing benefits. The beautiful news is that genetic expression is remarkably responsive to consciousness change. Unlike genetic mutations, which are largely permanent, epigenetic changes can occur rapidly and can even be reversed when the environmental signals change. This means that it's never too late to influence your genetic destiny through conscious choice. As you rest here in this deeply receptive state, absorbing these phrases of transformation, your genes are receiving new instructions about how to function. Genes associated with stress and aging are being downregulated, while genes associated with health and vitality are being upregulated. This is not metaphorical. It is measurable, scientific reality. Research has shown that practices like meditation can influence the expression of hundreds of genes within just a few months of consistent practice. Studies of people who regularly practice relaxation techniques show different patterns of genetic expression than people who don't, including enhanced immune function, reduced inflammation, and improved cellular repair mechanisms. The 8 phrases you're working with tonight target the core beliefs that have the most profound influence on genetic expression. Beliefs about safety activate or suppress genes related to stress response. Beliefs about love affect genes involved in bonding hormones and cardiovascular health. Beliefs about abundance influence genes that regulate metabolism and energy production. Your emotional state while receiving these phrases amplifies their epigenetic impact. The feelings of peace, safety, and love that you're cultivating create an optimal chemical environment for beneficial genetic expression. This is why we've taken such care to create conditions of relaxation and receptivity, not just for psychological comfort, but for optimal biological transformation. The epigenetic changes you're experiencing tonight don't just affect you, they can be passed on to your children and grandchildren. Positive changes in genetic expression can be inherited through epigenetic mechanisms, meaning that the healing work you're doing now can benefit future generations of your family lineage. This gives profound meaning to your personal transformation work. You're not just improving your own life, you're potentially healing ancestral patterns and creating a positive genetic legacy for your descendants. Every limiting belief you transform, every fear you release, every pattern of love you embody can influence the genetic expression of your entire family line. Your cells are constantly eavesdropping on your thoughts and emotions, using this information to decide which genetic programs to run. They don't distinguish between thoughts based on whether they're true or not. They simply respond to the chemical signals created by whatever you're thinking and feeling most consistently. This is why the repetitive nature of tonight's programming is so powerful. Each repetition reinforces the epigenetic signals that optimize your genetic expression for health, happiness, and fulfillment. Your genes are learning new patterns, new possibilities, new ways of supporting your highest potential. Feel gratitude now for your genes' incredible responsiveness to consciousness. They are not your masters. They are your servants, constantly adjusting their expression to support whatever reality you're consistently creating through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. As these transformative phrases continue to flow through your awareness, know that you are participating in the conscious evolution of your own biology. You are becoming living proof that consciousness can direct genetic expression toward patterns of greater health, happiness, and human potential. This is the true meaning of taking responsibility for your life. Not just accepting accountability for your choices and actions, but recognizing your power to influence your biological reality through the quality of your consciousness. Allow these final words to dissolve any remaining sense of separation that may linger in the depths of your consciousness. I am one with all life. Feel them bridging any gap between yourself and the infinite web of existence that connects every atom, every cell, every being in one seamless tapestry of conscious awareness. This statement may challenge everything you've been taught about the nature of reality and your place within it. From birth, you've been conditioned to see yourself as a separate individual, isolated within your own skin, competing for limited resources in a world of scarcity and division. But this perception of separation is the fundamental illusion that creates most human suffering. The deepest truth, confirmed by both ancient wisdom traditions and cutting-edge quantum physics, is that separation is an optical delusion of consciousness. At the most fundamental level of reality, everything is interconnected, interdependent, and unified in ways that transcend the boundaries of space and time. I am one with all life. As you breathe these words into your being, you are remembering something your soul has never forgotten, that you are not a separate wave competing with other waves, but a unique expression of the same infinite ocean that manifests as all waves, all forms, all experiences. This unity is not theoretical or philosophical. It is experiential and practical. Every breath you take connects you with the atmosphere that surrounds and sustains all living beings. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of ancient stars, making you literally composed of stardust. Every thought you think and emotion you feel ripples through the collective field of consciousness, influencing the experience of others in ways you may never fully understand. Your individual healing contributes to the healing of the whole planet. Your personal awakening accelerates the awakening of humanity. Your love adds to the reservoir of love available to all beings. You are not just working on yourself, you are working for the evolution of consciousness itself. This understanding transforms how you relate to every aspect of your experience. When you truly know your oneness with all life, it becomes impossible to harm others without recognizing that you are harming yourself. It becomes natural to treat all beings with compassion because you recognize them as other expressions of the same consciousness that you are. I am one with all life. Feel how this statement dissolves the loneliness that may have been your companion for too long. You are never actually alone. You are always connected to the vast community of existence that includes every human being who has ever lived, every animal, every plant, every mountain and river and star. This connection is not just sentimental. It is a source of immense strength, wisdom, and support. When you align with your unity with all life, You gain access to the collective wisdom of humanity, the resilience of nature, and the creative power of the universe itself. You are not limited to your personal resources. You are connected to infinite resources. Many people fear that recognizing their unity with all life will diminish their individuality or make them lose their unique identity. But the opposite is actually true. Just as every cell in your body has its own unique function, while being part of one unified organism, your individual uniqueness becomes more pronounced and more valuable when you understand your connection to the whole. Your specific gifts, perspectives, and experiences are not accidents. They are precisely what the universe needs from you to support the evolution and healing of the whole system. Your individual awakening serves not just yourself, but all of existence. This oneness includes unity with all aspects of yourself that you may have rejected or disowned. The parts of yourself that you judge, hide, or try to eliminate are also part of the one life expressing itself through your unique form. True healing comes not from destroying these aspects, but from integrating them with love and wisdom. I am one with all life. Let this phrase heal any wounds of rejection, abandonment, or exclusion that may have convinced you that you don't belong, that you're not welcome, that you're somehow separate from the family of existence. You have always belonged. You have always been welcome. You have always been an essential part of the whole. This unity also includes oneness with the intelligence that orchestrates your bodily functions, the wisdom that guides your intuition, and the love that is your deepest essence. You are not separate from the healing power that flows through your body, the creative force that inspires your thoughts, or the love that connects you to all beings. As you embody this truth more fully, your life becomes an expression of this unity. Your actions naturally align with the good of the whole. Your words carry healing power. Your presence radiates the peace and love that you recognize as your true nature. The 8 phrases you've received tonight work together to restore your awareness of this fundamental unity. Safety, healing, abundance, love, trust, authenticity, peace, and oneness are not separate qualities. They are different facets of the same wholeness that you are learning to embody more fully. When you know yourself as one with all life, you realize that everything you've been seeking outside yourself has always been available within you. The love you've been looking for in relationships exists as your own essence. The peace you've been trying to create in your circumstances flows from your recognition of your unity with the source of all peace. This doesn't mean that external relationships and experiences become unimportant. It means they become opportunities to celebrate and share the love, peace, and joy that you recognize as your true nature, rather than attempts to get something you believe you lack. I am one with all life. As you carry these words into the deepest levels of your subconscious mind, feel them establishing a new foundation for how you understand yourself and your place in the cosmos. You are not an isolated fragment struggling for survival in a hostile universe. You are a beloved expression of the same consciousness that creates galaxies and grows flowers with equal artistry and care. This unity is not something you need to achieve or deserve. It is something you need to remember and embody. It has always been true, is true right now, and will always be true regardless of what temporary experiences may arise in the dream of your individual life. From this place of unity, all transformation becomes natural, all healing becomes inevitable, and all love becomes unconditional. You are coming home to yourself, to your true nature, to your rightful place in the family of all existence. You are one with all life, and all life is one with you. As you rest now in this state of profound receptivity, having received all 8 transformative phrases into the deepest layers of your consciousness, a miraculous process of integration is beginning. These new patterns of thought and belief are not just floating on the surface of your mind. They are being woven into the very fabric of your being, becoming part of your cellular memory, your energy field, and your automatic responses to life. Integration is the bridge between insight and embodiment, between knowing and being, between temporary inspiration and permanent transformation. It's one thing to understand intellectually that you are safe, worthy of love, and connected to all life. It's another thing entirely to live from these truths so consistently that they become your natural way of being in the world. This process doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't require perfect consistency. Your subconscious mind is incredibly patient and persistent in its work of integration. Every time you return to these truths, every time you choose thoughts that align with these new beliefs, every time you catch yourself and redirect old patterns, you are strengthening the neural pathways that make these positive patterns more automatic. Think of integration like water slowly transforming the landscape. A river doesn't change the course of a mountain in a single flood. It carves new channels through thousands of small, consistent contacts with the rock. Similarly, these new beliefs will gradually reshape the landscape of your consciousness through thousands of small moments of choice and alignment. In the days and weeks following tonight's session, you may notice subtle shifts that signal this integration process is at work. Perhaps you'll find yourself naturally standing taller, breathing deeper, speaking with more confidence. Perhaps you'll notice that situations that once triggered anxiety or insecurity now feel manageable or even exciting. You might discover that you're naturally making healthier choices without forcing yourself. Your body might begin craving foods that nourish rather than comfort, movement that energizes rather than depletes, relationships that inspire rather than drain. These aren't signs that you're trying harder. They're signs that your internal programming is shifting. Some of the integration happens during sleep, as your brain consolidates the new information and creates stronger neural connections around these positive patterns. Some happens during quiet moments of reflection, when you consciously choose to align with these truths rather than old habitual thoughts. But much of the integration happens in the midst of ordinary life experiences, in conversations, decisions, challenges, and opportunities that give you chances to practice embodying these new beliefs. Each time you choose to respond from safety rather than fear, from worthiness rather than insecurity, from trust rather than control, you are deepening the integration process. There may be moments when you forget these truths temporarily and fall back into old patterns. This is completely natural and not a sign of failure. Old neural pathways don't disappear immediately. They simply become less dominant as new pathways become stronger. Each time you recognize an old pattern and consciously choose a new response, you are accelerating your transformation. Your body will be one of your most reliable indicators of how well these new beliefs are integrating. As your nervous system truly accepts that you are safe, you may notice chronic tension melting away from areas where you've been holding stress for years. As you embody your worthiness of love, your posture may naturally open, your voice may become clearer, and your energy may feel more magnetic and welcoming. Your relationships will also reflect the integration of these new beliefs. As you genuinely feel safer in the world, you may find that you attract people who are more trustworthy and supportive. As you embody your own healing capacity, you may discover that others naturally turn to you for comfort and wisdom. As you live from abundance consciousness, opportunities may begin appearing in ways that once seemed miraculous but now feel natural. The integration process is supported by consistency rather than intensity. It's better to spend a few minutes each day consciously aligning with these truths than to have occasional lengthy sessions followed by periods of complete neglect. Your subconscious mind responds to steady, gentle repetition much more readily than to sporadic bursts of effort. You can support this integration by creating simple daily practices that reinforce these new beliefs. Perhaps you begin each morning by quietly affirming, "I am safe in this moment," while feeling your feet on the ground and your breath in your body. Maybe you end each day by placing your hand on your heart and saying, "I am worthy of love," with genuine appreciation for yourself. These practices don't need to be elaborate or time-consuming. Sometimes the most powerful integration happens in micro moments throughout your day. Pausing to breathe and remember your safety when you feel stressed. Silently blessing your body when you look in the mirror. Choosing thoughts of abundance when scarcity fears arise. Your environment can also support integration. You might find yourself naturally drawn to spaces, activities, and people that resonate with these higher frequencies. Colors, music, foods, and surroundings that once appealed to you may feel less attractive as your inner vibration shifts, while other options that support your new way of being become more appealing. This is not about forcing change or judging your previous preferences. It's about allowing your external life to naturally align with your internal transformation. As you embody these new beliefs more fully, your choices will spontaneously reflect these higher patterns of thinking and being. The integration process is also supported by patience and self-compassion. Some days these new truths will feel absolutely real and natural. Other days they might feel foreign or difficult to access. This fluctuation is normal and temporary. Your subconscious mind is like a muscle that gets stronger with use. The more consistently you exercise these new patterns, the more natural they become. Remember that integration is not about perfection, it's about direction. You're not trying to never have another fearful thought or moment of self-doubt. You're developing the capacity to recognize these old patterns more quickly and return to your new truth more easily. As these beliefs become more integrated, you may notice that what once required conscious effort starts happening automatically. The safety you once had to remind yourself of becomes a felt sense that rarely wavers. The love you once had to convince yourself you deserved becomes an unshakable knowing that influences every interaction. This integration serves not only your personal evolution, but the collective evolution of human consciousness. As you embody these higher truths, you become living proof that transformation is possible. Your presence gives others permission to access their own capacity for safety, healing, love, and unity. The most profound integration happens when these new beliefs stop being beliefs and become your direct experience of reality. When you no longer need to affirm that you are safe because safety is simply how you experience life. When you no longer need to remind yourself that you're worthy of love because worthiness is woven into the fabric of your being. This level of integration creates what we might call embodied wisdom. Truth that lives in your cells, your energy field, your automatic responses, and your natural way of being. From this place, you don't just know these truths intellectually, you are these truths in living form. As you continue to rest in this receptive state, trust that this integration process is already well underway. Every moment you've spent receiving these phrases, every feeling of resonance you've experienced, every glimpse of possibility you've sensed is contributing to the transformation that will continue unfolding in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Your old identity is gently dissolving like morning mist, making space for the fuller expression of who you truly are to emerge. This emergence is not forced or rushed. It happens with the same natural grace that transforms a seed into a flower, slowly but inevitably expressing its inherent perfection. As we approach the completion of this transformative journey together, I want to share with you how to create your own sacred sleep ritual, a nightly practice that will continue the reprogramming process and deepen your connection to these 8 foundational truths that are now taking root in your consciousness. Sleep is not just a biological necessity, it is a spiritual practice, a daily opportunity to surrender your concerns to the infinite wisdom that orchestrates all natural processes. Every night, you have the chance to release the day's accumulation of stress, worry, and mental tension, and to align yourself with the healing, regenerative forces that work most powerfully when your conscious mind steps aside. Creating a sacred sleep ritual begins with recognizing bedtime as a transition from one state of consciousness to another. This is not merely the time when your body rests. It is the time when your soul communes with deeper levels of reality, when your subconscious mind processes and integrates the day's experiences, and when your cellular intelligence performs its most profound healing and renewal work. Your ritual might begin an hour or two before you actually lie down to sleep. This is the time to begin the gentle transition from the active, yang energy of your day to the receptive, yin energy of nighttime. Dim the lights in your living space, creating an atmosphere that signals to your nervous system that it's time to shift into rest mode. Consider what you expose your consciousness to in these precious transition hours. Instead of stimulating television programs, intense conversations, or worry-inducing news, choose activities that support the state of peace and receptivity you want to carry into sleep. Perhaps you read inspiring literature, listen to calming music, or engage in gentle movement that releases tension from your body. The phrases you've received tonight: I am safe in this moment, my body knows how to heal, I receive all that I need, and the others, can become the foundation of your nightly practice. You might choose one phrase to focus on each night, cycling through all 8 over the course of a week. Or you might work with the phrase that feels most needed based on the challenges or opportunities you're currently navigating. The key is to receive these phrases not as empty repetitions, but as living truths that you're inviting to take deeper root in your being. Speak them silently to yourself with the same reverence you might bring to a prayer or meditation. Feel them in your body as well as your mind. Let them resonate in your heart space, creating coherence between your thoughts and your emotions. Your physical environment can greatly support this ritual. Consider creating a sleep sanctuary that reflects the peace and beauty you're cultivating within yourself. This might mean investing in comfortable bedding that makes you feel nurtured, removing electronic devices that emit disruptive frequencies, or adding elements like candles, flowers, or meaningful objects that remind you of your connection to something greater. The temperature, darkness, and air quality of your sleeping space all influence the depth and quality of your rest, which in turn affects how well your subconscious mind can process and integrate new programming. But even more important than perfect external conditions is the quality of consciousness you bring to your sleep. As you settle into bed each night, take a few moments to consciously release the day. This doesn't mean analyzing everything that happened or trying to solve pending problems. It means surrendering your concerns to the infinite intelligence that never sleeps, trusting that solutions will emerge and guidance will come in ways that your limited personal perspective could never orchestrate. You might visualize placing your worries, fears, and unsolved problems in a beautiful container and offering them to the universe for healing and resolution. Or you might imagine writing them on pieces of paper and watching them dissolve in a river of light. The specific imagery matters less than the genuine intention to let go and trust. This surrender is not passive resignation. It's active alignment with forces greater than your personality mind. It's the recognition that your highest good is constantly being orchestrated by an intelligence that sees the bigger picture, knows the perfect timing, and has access to resources and possibilities that you cannot perceive from your current vantage point. Your breath becomes a powerful tool in this practice of conscious surrender. As you breathe slowly and naturally, you can use your exhale to release anything that doesn't serve your highest good, and your inhale to receive peace, healing, and guidance. Each breath becomes a prayer, an affirmation, a gentle surrender to the natural flow of life force through your being. This is also the perfect time to cultivate gratitude for your body's incredible capacity to heal and regenerate while you sleep. Thank your heart for its faithful rhythm, your lungs for their automatic breathing, your immune system for its protective vigilance, and your brain for its brilliant capacity to process and integrate experience. Gratitude creates one of the most healing and transformative states of consciousness possible. When you fall asleep in a state of appreciation for your life, your body, and the mysterious intelligence that sustains you, you create optimal conditions for physical healing, emotional balance, and spiritual growth. Your intention as you drift off to sleep becomes a powerful programming signal for your subconscious mind. Instead of falling asleep to random thoughts, worries, or entertainment, you can consciously choose to end your day by aligning with the highest possibilities for your healing, growth, and service. You might set an intention such as I sleep, my subconscious mind integrates all the healing and wisdom I've received today. I awaken refreshed, renewed, and aligned with my highest good. Or simply, I surrender to the perfect intelligence that heals, guides, and loves me unconditionally. The morning after a night of sacred sleep often brings subtle but profound gifts: clearer thinking, deeper peace, creative insights, or simply the feeling that something has shifted in a positive direction. These are signs that your nightly ritual is creating the space for transformation to occur at the deepest levels of your being. Remember that this practice is not about perfection, but about consistency and intention. Some nights you may fall asleep easily in a state of peace and gratitude. Other nights you may struggle with restlessness or worry. Both experiences are opportunities to practice surrender, to trust the process, and to return to the truth of your safety and belovedness. Your sacred sleep ritual is ultimately about creating the optimal conditions for your ongoing transformation, not just during sleep, but throughout your entire life. As you consistently align yourself with these higher truths each night, they gradually become the foundation from which you live, love, and serve during your waking hours. Tonight marks the beginning of this new relationship with sleep, with rest, with the sacred art of conscious surrender that opens the doorway to your deepest healing and highest potential. As this profound journey through the landscape of your subconscious mind draws to a close, I want to prepare you for what you might experience in the days and weeks ahead. Transformation rarely announces itself with dramatic fanfare. More often, it whispers through subtle shifts that gradually reveal themselves as you live your daily life with new awareness. When you awaken tomorrow morning, you may not immediately feel like a completely different person. This is perfectly natural and exactly as it should be. The deepest changes occur at levels beneath conscious awareness, like seeds planted in dark soil that require time to develop roots before they break through to the surface. Your first indication that something has shifted may come through your body. Perhaps you notice that you naturally stand a little taller, that your breathing is a little deeper, that you feel more grounded and present in your physical form. These subtle changes reflect the new sense of safety and self-worth that is beginning to establish itself in your nervous system. You might discover that situations which previously triggered anxiety or insecurity now feel more manageable. A difficult conversation with a family member may flow more smoothly. A challenge at work may inspire creative solutions rather than overwhelming stress. These are signs that your internal programming is shifting from patterns of reactivity to patterns of responsive wisdom. Pay attention to the quality of your inner dialogue in the days ahead. You may notice that the voice in your head has become gentler, more supportive, more aligned with the 8 truths you've received tonight. Where once you might have had automatic thoughts of self-criticism or worry, you may find yourself naturally thinking thoughts that support and encourage your highest good. Your relationships will also begin to reflect the transformation occurring within you. As you embody greater self-love and worthiness, you may find that others naturally treat you with more respect and kindness. As you radiate the peace and safety you're cultivating within, you may discover that conflicts resolve more easily and connections deepen more naturally. Some people in your life may respond positively to the changes they sense in you, while others may feel uncomfortable with your transformation. This is not a reflection of your doing anything wrong. It's a natural result of shifting out of old patterns that may have been serving dysfunctional dynamics in certain relationships. Trust that any disruption in relationships that occurs as a result of your healing is ultimately serving your highest good and the highest good of everyone involved. Sometimes love means allowing people to experience the consequences of their choices rather than enabling unhealthy patterns through your own fear or people-pleasing. Your decision-making process may also begin to shift in subtle but significant ways. You might find yourself naturally making choices that support your well-being without having to force or convince yourself. The healthy food may seem more appealing, the nourishing activity may feel more attractive, the supportive relationship may become more obvious. These changes occur not through willpower or discipline, but through the natural alignment that happens when your subconscious programming supports your conscious desires rather than sabotaging them. When your deepest beliefs about yourself are positive and empowering, positive choices become the path of least resistance. Dreams can also provide valuable feedback about the transformation occurring in your subconscious mind. In the nights following this session, you may have dreams that reflect themes of safety, healing, love, or empowerment. You might dream of flying, of being welcomed into beautiful spaces, of receiving gifts or guidance from wise figures. Even challenging dreams can be positive signs of transformation. They may represent your psyche processing and releasing old fears, traumas, or limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. Trust that your dream life is working in service of your healing and growth, even when the content seems difficult or confusing. Your relationship with your body may begin to shift as the phrase, "My body knows how to heal," takes deeper root in your consciousness. You might notice improvements in sleep quality, digestion, energy levels, or chronic conditions that have bothered you. These changes may be gradual and subtle, so pay attention to overall trends rather than daily fluctuations. Your body's intelligence is always working to optimize your health, but this process is greatly enhanced when your conscious mind aligns with and supports your body's natural healing capacity, rather than undermining it through stress, doubt, or neglect. Abundance consciousness may begin to manifest through unexpected opportunities, helpful synchronicities, or simply a greater appreciation for the wealth of resources, relationships, and experiences that already surround you. True abundance often begins with recognizing what you already have, rather than acquiring more of what you think you need. The phrase, "I trust the process of life," may reveal itself through a gradual relaxation of your need to control outcomes and a growing confidence in the intelligence that orchestrates your experience. You may find yourself more willing to take beneficial risks, more patient with uncertainty, and more open to possibilities you hadn't previously considered. Most importantly, be patient and gentle with yourself as these new patterns establish themselves in your consciousness. Transformation is not a destination, but a continuous process of evolution and expansion. Some days you will feel deeply aligned with these new truths, and other days old patterns may temporarily resurface. This fluctuation is completely natural and not a sign of failure. Every time you recognize an old pattern and consciously choose to align with your new truth, you strengthen the neural pathways that make positive patterns more automatic and natural. Keep a simple journal of the subtle shifts you notice, not to judge or evaluate your progress, but to develop greater awareness of the transformation that is continuously unfolding within you. Often we miss the beauty of gradual change because we're looking for dramatic breakthroughs. Remember that your transformation serves not only your personal evolution, but the collective healing of humanity. Every fear you release, every limiting belief you transform, every moment of love you embody contributes to the positive transformation of our world. As you continue your journey forward, carrying these 8 seeds of transformation in your consciousness, trust that they will grow and flourish in perfect timing, revealing gifts and possibilities that surpass your current capacity to imagine. The work we have done together tonight is complete, but the process of becoming who you were always meant to be is eternal, unfolding with each breath, each choice, each moment of conscious alignment with your highest truth. You are safe. You are loved, you are whole, and you are just beginning to discover the magnificent reality this makes possible.